Hello everyone. I'm gonna show you a little bit of what I did. I have a '03 Ram 1500 with the 4.7, and I got this one with the 5.7. So basically on this one, I know there's no engine, but the computer will be sitting here with all the wires that come straight through here to the headlights, and then it'll go from here across and down and goes inside and connects down towards the floor and comes straight this way, comes out to the other headlight. But basically the harness for the engine will come out with the whole harness. So you'll just disconnect three or four plugs from the computer, and you'll just throw all the wires on top of the engine. And then on the engine, on the very back, you can see where it splits, and it goes and it runs a cable towards the back of the transmission, where you have to disconnect, like, I'll say 1, 2, 3, maybe like 5 cables, and those cables will come out with the engine. And then obviously before you take out the engine, you have to take out 1, 2, 3, 4 screws out of the torque converter. But to get to those, there's a plate under the transmission that you have to take off before you can get to the screws on the torque converter. After that, you can start taking off the screws around the transmission. And I found it easier to unscrew the block from the motor mounts. It'll just be easier, because if you take them out with the motor mounts, I found it that's a little bit harder. So either way, whatever you want to do. And then after that, where I put the chains to pull out the engine. So basically on this one, on the 5.7, there's a cable that a ground cable that runs right behind the engine, and on the passenger side there's a screw. So you have to basically take that screw off and probably see if you have one laying around, or go to the hardware store and get one a little bit longer. And then I'll run it from this side of the corner to the front of the AC compressor. There's a screwy, and basically that's how I lifted it out. And then there's other few hoses. You gotta get the radiator out and move everything that's in the way. But basically it's pretty easy to take out the 5.7 compared to the 4.7. The 4.7 was a little bit more trickier, but it wasn't bad at all. But I mean, as long as you have the time and the patience, you'll get it out. If I could do it, you could do it. So the harness of the engine will come out together with it. There will be the other wire harness that runs from the inside of the cab towards the outside. So basically the only thing you gotta do is just chase the wire down and see which way it goes. And there's a few grounds that you have to unscrew to get it out, and a few cables to move out the way. And then it'll basically run straight through here, and then a cable will go towards the windshield wiper. So you have to windshield motor. So you have to take this apart somehow, so you could get to the engine little motor and unplug it. You take it out, and then you'll continue running this way to the front of the other headlight on the driver's side. Disconnect the horns, the ABS if it has one. The ABS module, you're gonna have to disconnect it, or I don't know if this is an ABS module, whatever it is. But then you're gonna have to move the battery box. There's a few screws. You're gonna have to take off the wheel well under, because there's 2 screws that's holding the battery box. So once you take that off, you have more access to get this cable that runs back in. And then yeah, basically it's really simple. I'll show you a little bit of the inside where it connects to. So there'll be this connector right here that goes from there, and this cable here is what holds the whole dash. And there'll be another connector that runs from the inside harness that connects to this one. So you will unplug this and the other few cables, and you'll be able to get the outside engine compartment harness out. If you're doing the same engine swap from a 4.7 to a 5.7, basically you just need the engine harness to make it work. And there'll be a module that you will have to put so the pedal could work. Besides that, it's pretty simple. It's just like the other one. I'll show you a little bit of how I'm going right now. So here is the 5.7 engine in the 4.7 truck that I have. So the box I'm telling you for the pedal, it's this one that goes right under the battery, and that cable runs to the pedal. So you'll end up connecting it right here, and this box will send the signal to the throttle body. And then, as you could tell, oh yeah, you're gonna have to replace what I did. I replaced this box as well. I brought it from the 5.7. So I mean, if you have the time, just do it. So you'll basically be disconnecting all these wires, and this is from the same harness. So this harness runs straight down and goes straight across to inside of the firewall. That's where it connects again, and then it runs straight this way across towards the passenger, towards the computer where it connects, obviously. And then it keeps running just a piece just for the headlights where you're gonna connect it at. And then yeah, it's basically simple. Like I said, the whole wire harness from the engine is just right here, just a few plugs. Once you disconnect them, you just throw them on top, and you'll be able to take out the whole engine with the wire harness. And then, like I told you, from the AC compressor, that's where I grab the screw at. Then there's one in the back that I use as the ground to pull it out. Other than that, oh yeah, the 4.7 power steering box will not work on the 5.4. It'll make it stick out, and it'll make the belt get off track. So you have to put the 5.7. Not a big deal. Oh yeah, your fuel, the fuel line, you have to replace that as well. It's kind of difficult, but I managed to get it in. So yeah, the lines are different from the top, but not from the bottom where it disconnects. You'll be fine with that. And then obviously the windshield wiper plug-in is different, so I'm gonna have to replace either the motor or find a way I could make that cable work with the other one somehow. But basically it's pretty simple, you know. As well, you gotta I took off this front radiator support, gives me more room. And yeah, the front bumper, yeah, it's pretty easy. It's not really easy, but it's not something, anyway, you could do it, you know. So if I can, you can. So yeah, let me see what else I could think of. Oh yeah, the 4.7 harness, it's the same thing, only the difference is that you'll have to disconnect all the spark plugs and the fuel rail off of it, because it runs all together. And you'll basically have to disconnect the whole harness to get it all out. So it's better if you just disconnect it to move it out the way. That's how I found it was easier. And taking off the top manifold so you can reach towards the back of the transmission screws, that's very easy as well. And the other wire harness runs the same from, basically it connects right here though, There's a little bracket right there. I don't know if you guys can see that right there. And actually plug in there the old one, and only ran straight across towards the computer. And then there was another small wire harness that ran from that corner that plugged in from right here towards the front. So basically it's like two, but only this side is really small on the passenger side. But other than that, is the same process of as the other one. There's not much difference. It's really easy. The other computer mounts just as perfectly, besides a few other, like this one. I don't know where I could put it at, but it's not in the way. The AC lines from the 4.7, the 5.7, you'll have to change them. They will not plug in to the to this compressor, from AC compressor from the 5.7 to the 4.7. It's basically two different lines. Let me see if I can show you real quick. So this line right here is the 4.7. So this one is one hole together, and the 5.7 are two different ones. So the 4.7 is only has one screw. The 5.7 has two, and they're two separate lines, but they connect as same. You'll lose your AC gas, but no big deal. You know, you can always refill it. But yeah, what else? Let's see. Oh yeah, the radiator from the 4.7 will not fit to the 5.7. They're two different ones. The hoses are bigger than the 5.7. I mean smaller. So the 5.7 hoses are bigger than the 4.7, so they will not fit. So basically, I have to order a new radiator with new hoses. Not a big deal, but just to give you guys a heads up what you guys would need. Oh yeah, my truck is 4x4. The one that gave me the 5.7 is 2-wheel drive, so the motor mounts don't add up. What else? Yeah, you have to make your own brackets for the engine mount, but the transmission from the 4.7, the 5.7, they both line up together. There's no problem with that. But the only problem you will have if you have a 4x4 is the engine mounts will not line up. So that's something you'll have to take in mind as well. But no big deal. I mean, you can always build some brackets, like I have my neighbor building me some. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, just let me know. And if I could help you guys, yeah. Oh yeah, the catalytic converter, those from the 4.7, the 5% are two different. They're different. The 4.7 only has one. The 5.7 has two. So you have to modify the 5.7 into the 4.7 chassis. That's where I'm gonna have a little bit of trouble, but no big deal. Some cutting won't hurt. You'll have to take it to a muffler shop to get it how you want it. You know, not everything is gonna fit straight on, but it's a project. You're making it as you want it. Now how it actually came from factory. So it's just little stuff that will make you happy, you know, knowing that you did it, not someone else. But it doesn't matter to that, you know. If you have the money to do it, go ahead, you know, have someone else do it and save the headache on this. But me, I could pay someone, but I'd rather do it myself, because that's how I like. One thing, it'll make me learn how to do things. And next time I decide to buy another one with a blown engine or something, I know what to do, you know, so it won't be that difficult to do it. But yeah, just let me know if you guys have any questions and see what I could help you guys with. And this is just a little short video of the 4.7 5.7 engine swap. I do have the engine, the engine turns on, only that right now it's It's 6 o'clock. I'm in California, so really a little bit dark. Maybe another day I'll make a video of turning on the engine. Maybe tomorrow morning or in the afternoon when people are out working. All right, you guys, have a good one.